Okay na, live na. Okay na, live na. Naka-live na.
Alright, so good morning everyone. Magandang araw sa inyong lahat at sa lahat po ng mga guests ho natin na nagbigay ng kanilang approval sa lahat ng ating mga invitations para sa kanila. At syempre, welcome sa ating regular QC Journalist Forum. At ito naman ay inorganisa ng QCJI na kinabibilangan po yan ng iba't ibang mga miyembro mula sa media men from TV, radio, print, at sa social media. Ang forum na ito ay hatid sa inyo ng PAGCOR, Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation, at ng PCSO o Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office.
Hindi umurong sa pagtulong kawawa sa
Nawala, mahirap ang live eh. Sige, tuloy mo na, sir.
At syempre, ang forum na dito ay sa pagtulungan po yan ng opisina ng Quezon City Mayor Joy Belmonte and Vice Mayor Gian Soto. Ngayon po ay pinapasalamatan natin ang lahat po ng mga guests natin. Unahin muna natin si Mr. Dexter Cardenas, ang head ng QC Traffic and Transport Management Department para sa inyong opening statement. Sir Dex, good morning.
Good morning po sa inyo lahat. Salamat ulit sa pagkakataon na po tayo regarding sa mga plano ng LGU and other government agencies regarding sa forthcoming Holy Week. Sa part ng LGU sa namin kuning kayo, Jim Belmonte, we see to it that the appropriate number of enforcers to be deployed sa mga terminals located in Quezon City to ensure that the safety and procuring of people will be observed all the time by the terminals operating in Quezon City. In coordination, of course, sa ating mga national agencies like LTO, LTFRB, MMDA, and ating QCPD, katulong natin para sa mga case and order. Of course, kasama rin po natin ang Department of the Order Safety, headed by the Termo San Diego, the head of the law and order master of the city government. Thank you.
Para sa ating transport agency, Sir Jerome Rodriguez, ang Traffic and Safety Management Department and Land Transportation Office. Sir?
Good morning po sa inyo lahat. Natutuwa po kami on behalf of our ASEC, Marcos P. Nacanilao, and of course the LTO itself. Maraming salamat po sa pag-imbita at pagkakaroon ng ganitong dialogue para mapag-usapan yung pag-implement ng mga guidelines and protocol pagdating po sa kaligtasan, cleanliness, at the same time, safe travel po ng ating mga civilians. Ngayong darating semana sa atin. Thank you.
Maraming salamat. At syempre, ang ating Chief District Directorial Staff ng Quezon City Police District, Colonel Julius Sagantoy. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Ma'am Angela Cruz, of course, and the rest of the Quezon City journalist group and other media groups around. Of course, my fellow guests here with me, my team from Quezon City Police District. I have to review also my PIO, of course, Jennifer Ganaban, Major Jennifer Ganaban. So everyone, good morning. Well, we are very elated and for the invitation that we have received. Of course, your team, Quezon City Police District, will always be there and we will always be at hand readily. Of course, this coming Holy Week, for the information of everyone, of course, your Quezon City Police District will be deploying, of course, the sufficient personnel, of course, to cover the safety, security, and the convenience, of course, of the public. We will see to it that throughout the duration of this, and of course, through the coordination, collaboration with other agencies, particularly when it comes to traffic, we have here with us the TPMD and our LTO. We will be coming hand in hand together with our force multipliers, aside from the regular PNP personnel that we will be deploying to see to it that these activities would be peaceful. With that, thank you very much for having us here with us during your talk.
Alright, maraming salamat. At syempre para sa lahat po ng mga kasama natin sa industriya, pinapaalalahanan lang po ang pagbibigay ng questions, 2 questions and 1 follow-up. And tingnan na lang po natin kung ano yung mga allowances sa ating oras para sa ating mga supplemental questions po natin. Unahin muna natin, sir, speaking of Semana Santa, sabi niyo may sufficient numbers kayo. Ilan ba ang ipapakalat ho ninyo na personnel around Quezon City? And paano ba masisiguro ang seguridad ng mga kababayan na natin, lalong-lalo na doon sa mga key areas, yung mga matatao ng mga lugar dito sa Luzon? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Of course, speaking of key areas and the sufficient deployment that your Quezon City Police District will be deploying is sufficient enough. Of course, the key areas we will be covering, in particular, the places of convergence. When we say places of convergence, of course, we have the bus terminals, jeepney terminals, the LRT and MRT, of course, the main thoroughfare, and, of course, the religious worship areas natin. So, sufficient personnel, we will be maximizing our resources for that purpose. Sabi nga natin is we don't want anything that will happen that will disrupt the peaceful conduct of these activities. So, we will be having sufficient personnel, more or less 1,700 to 2,000. Of course, to include the force multipliers. We will be also including itong mga barangay officials natin, the TANODs, and of course, when we see force multipliers again, we also have with us the TTMD, and of course, our partner agencies from the Land Transportation Office, of course, to man our main thoroughfares of that matter.
Alright, Sir Dex and Sir Jerome, paano yung mga augmentations po natin in partnership with QC PD po?
In particular, ay ang mga bus terminals natin na located Cubao, Aurora Boulevard, EDSA, and E-Road. Doon po yung concentration ng augmentation from the TTMT doon sa to maintain the area free from traffic congestion, of course, yung safety ng ating mga commuters na traditionally nagdadagsaan pag yung last day na ng pasok, proceeding to the holiday, ay yun po yung talagang makikita natin yung bugso ng mga pasahero going to the provinces. So yun yung anticipated na naman natin yan because that's a historically driven day na naman na ganun talaga yung influx. Ikaw lang, titignan lang natin ngayon kung may pagbabago ba because of the surge in fuel hike ng ating mga bus companies kung may apekto ba yun sa traffic behavior ng ating mga kababayan. But again, ano naman natin yung traditions, parang foremost na important sa Pilipino kasi doon sa gastusin. Siguro nakikita natin na may sense pa rin. So, in-anticipate pa rin natin na malaki pa rin yung bilang commuters na going home to their respective provinces.
Sir Jerome, kumusta yung traffic behavior po natin ngayon? Papalapit na ang Semana Santa.
Good morning, everyone. Actually, prior to this session, at the day of March 2, we already asked the regions to prepare an implementation plan or aid plan. So, when we say implementation plan, they have this to enforce these guidelines that was bestowed to him at the month of March 2, which is the start of our month, wherein they have to organize and at the same time assign personnel to be on the help desk as part of the PNP augmented team and to strictly enforce the anti-colorum drive that puts the passenger into danger and also help the persons who are traveling in distress. So in terms of the traffic, each region was assigned for the implementation plan. So I hope the LTO NCR have already coordinated with the LTO PNP as we are already conducting our pre-op plan as of now, which is the March, pre-op plan has started March 23 until March 26, wherein we go into different terminals and garage to conduct random terminal inspection as well as random drug testing to ensure the safety of the passenger, that the drivers are not under the influence of drugs or any intoxicated substances. So the second phase will be on March 27 until April 6. Thank you.
Maraming salamat. Binubuksan na natin ang ating question and answer portion. Unahin muna natin si Ms. Angie De La Cruz ng PSM.
Good morning po, panelists. Good morning po. Thank you po sa pagdating nyo. My first question is for Sir Cardenas. Sir, ngayon pong Semana Santa, kahit hindi Semana Santa, nang tumaas po ng presyo ng gasolina, kumukonti na po yung mga lumalabas na sasakyan. Ngayon po na kumukonti na, meron po ba tayong mga libreng sakay sa panahon po ng Semana Santa para po yung mga tao makapunta sa mga simbahan, sa mga pilgrimages sa Quezon City, sir?
Salamat sa tanong niyo po, no? Dahil handi nga po yun, sa kontrata na mga libreng sakay is talagang mula biyahe sa Biyernes Santo, until Thursday to Saturday, yung Black Saturday. Pero Sunday, meron na siya biyahe. Yun po yung schedule talaga na kontrata ng ating mga libreng sakay. Yan nga po, para hindi nga magsayang ng gasolina din ang ating mga biyahe, nagkukot din naman yung pasero at that time. Ito sa regular routes kasi yan. So karamihan naman walang pasok, so halos walang may isasakay yun. Kaya pinabutin na rin natin na isundin yung holiday schedule ng ating mga libreng sakay para makatipid na rin sa pagkamit ng gasolina.
Kay Colonel, sir, Colonel, ngayon pong summer vacation, any information po para sa ating mga kababayan, sir?
Well, of course, in relation, it's always been a practice, particularly here sa ating bansa. After Holy Week, it comes summer vacation. So we will be expecting, though may magkaroon siguro ng konting kwan dyan, considering of the global problem that we are now encountering, lahat tayo is affected. But your PNP, of course, your Quezon City Police District will always be there, and we will again maximize the sufficient deployment of our personnel, particularly din dito sa mga places of convergence. Like we will intensify our police visibility. We will strengthen yung presence po ng mga kapulisan natin sa mga dapat sila magpatrolya. Of course, yung beat patrollers natin, siguro mas pang kami sa beat patrollers natin considering yung mobility natin ngayon. No, hindi naman natin sinakuan na magkakaroon ng kunting kwan, but a little bit of adjustment. So we will be intensifying yung patrollers natin, beat patrollers, yung mga foot patrollers natin to, of course, bantayan po ito and to secure itong mga lugar na we all know for a fact na itong Metro Manila, of course, dito sa Quezon City, magkakaroon ng convergence, of course, yung coming in and out ng mga local and mga international tourists po natin. And we rest assured the public that we will, in our own capacity, we will see to it na safe and sound po dito sa atin, sa lugar natin dito sa Quezon City. Of course, aside from that, yung sinasabi ko kanina ng mga places o areas, key areas na babantayan natin, lalagyan po natin ito ng police assistance desk. Just like sa malls natin, maglalagay din po tayo dyan. Of course, for everyone's safety po yung pan natin. So, rest assured po, we are ready for the summer vacation po.
Thank you. Ryan Lisiges, PTV4.
Hi sir. Sir, sa LTO, aside doon sa mga surprise drug testing na gagawin, I understand, madalas ginagawa yan sa mga terminals as well as sa PITX. Will you also be conducting yung ginawa niyo last year na roadside inspections And will you also be activating yung Oplan Semana Biyaheng Ayos na ginawa din last year?
Yes, sir. Regarding with the Oplan Biyayes, ito yung tema kasi, sir. Oplan Biyaheng Ayos at summer vacation, wherein, as per the last year, in comparison to this year, mas heightened po yung security and enforcement natin ngayon. So, aside po dun sa mga random terminal inspections and drug testing, we also encourage other regions on their implementation plan to put up some right checkpoints that may, with the help of the PNP Joint Operation po, to be placed or to strategize whether what are the areas na marami summer vacation eh. So most of them happy na yan. So probably there are chances that there will be drivers who will be still driving even though they are under the influence of alcohol.
Sir Dex, ilang bus terminals po yung tinitingnan natin dito sa Quezon City? At last year, para lang po may point of comparison, baka may data kayo, ilan yung foot traffic natin sa mga bus terminals? And are we expecting na dadami din ngayon despite the surge ng oil prices? Thank you.
Yung ngayong challenge ngayon na dito natitignan natin, it might drop yung number of commuters na pabiyahe. But again, because of tradition over economy, baka iirang pa rin yung tradition na alam naman yung Pilipino nga, talagang mas pinipili niya. It's the only time na makaka-uwi siya sa probinsya. They might still take advantage that long vacation versus doon sa expense. So yan yung ating itignan natin. But last year kasi talaga, ang biyahe, parami. But again, will be, talaga ngayon na ang challenge talaga is dadami ba o bababa yung datos. So yun yung challenge talaga.
Sir, siguro sa inyo dalawa sa LTO, kasi baka ito din yung time na gamitin ng mga kolorum, baka maglipa na din sila kasi baka ikokontrata nila yung mga uuwi sa probinsya. Ano pong gagawin doon, sir? May ano po ba tayo heightened monitoring doon sa mga kolorum ng mga sasakyan?
Yes, sir. Actually, one of our agenda, especially as of now, sir, yes, with the decreasing number of transport mobility or vehicles, definitely, sir, marami pong maglilipa ng mga koloro. That is why, nabanggit ko nga po kanina, in comparison to the last year, to this year, mas heightened yung security, especially po pagdating po dun sa enforcement ng anti-koloro.
Sir, last week lang kay Colonel. Sir, kasi na-mention mo na kanina yung mga pasyalan, places of convergence, pero may mga bahay pong may iwan during mag-vacation po. Tatahuan, mamanduhan din po ba yun ng mga polis natin? Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for that question. Of course, tama nga. If ever na yung mga from all walks of life, they will be coming in and out, and most of them, especially pag taga Manila po tayo o taga Quezon City, pupunta po tayo sa probinsya, and the residents will be left behind. Of course, we are appealing to the public also. We are appealing to residential areas to secure their personal belongings. Of course, we have here we have also yung tinatawag namin na anti-crime awareness program, the information drive, which is now being circulated. So, information campaign when it comes to that. But aside from that, ng deployment natin ng tropa sa mga main convergence natin, we also deploy personnel, of course, to look into the security ng ating mga properties who will be left behind, particularly to mga residential areas po natin. And of course, yung nasabi namin kanina na we also ask the support, of course, our force multipliers, yung sa within the barangay po, yung mga barangay officials natin, to help our personnel patrol their areas, yung mga residential areas po natin.
Thank you, sir.
Salamat. Miss Lea Ilagat ng UNTV.
Morning, sir. Sir, yung question ko sa LTO, sabi niyo po mas heightened yung security deployment. At ang sinabi niyo kanina, magkakaroon kayo ng mga random inspection sa mga terminals. Paano naman po yung mga bumabiyahe ng mga van? Alam natin ng mga kolorum po sila. Paano natin mamomonitor ito? At paano nyo ma-check? Kasi pagka ganitong dagsa yung mga pasahero, may mga bakasyon, bumabiyahe talaga sila. Maraming bumabiyahe ng mga kolorum vans.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the question. Actually, ma'am, aside po dun sa mga deployment ng mga personals natin sa mga terminals, we also have these personnel that are deployed on the road. So nagkakaroon po kami ng mga random roadside inspection as well to determine the vehicle, whether if it is roadworthy and at the same time it is a legally being used as a private or for hire vehicle.
Sir, di yun kung magkano ang magkakapal na huli na kolorum, ang kunyari yung van na pumapasada, magkano ang multa ng mga ganon? Ano yung mga kakaharapin din? Na kaso ng driver, yung sasakyan ba, ma-impound? Pa-explain na lang.
Well, in the drive of anti-colorum, actually, not just the driver will be penalized, but also the owner. Since, actually, still, pagka alam ni owner na ginagamit yung sasakyan niya as for colorum, meron tayong tinatawag na liability of the registered owner. So definitely, not just the owner, as well as the driver will face not just a fine, an impounding, but also it is a criminal case. So, in terms of the fines and penalties, ma'am, I do not know if I'm, allowed to say the amount, but in reference to the Joint Administrative Order 2014-01, for the van, it's 200,000 pesos. Thank you.
Sir, gaano, para lang malaman din ng mga commuters natin, gaano kadelikado ang magsakay sa mga kolorum na sasakyan?
Yes, for our commuters, it's definitely dangerous to be hitched or, of course, to ride on a Colorum. Definitely because it is not registered under the LTFRB. So we don't have the measures whether the vehicle is roadworthy. So the person may say that it's roadworthy, na-inspect ko yan. However, does that person is qualified to inspect and to qualify whether the vehicle is roadworthy? Thank you.
Kay Colonel Sagandoy. Sir, sinabi mo kanina na magdi-deploy din ka. Papantayan nyo rin yung mga walang, yung mga bahay, na yung mga residente ay uuwi sa mga lalawigan. Sir, meron na bang pakikipag-ugnayan ang UCPP sa mga security na mga subdivision na para po dito sa mapantayan din po yung mga areas nila?
Thank you, ma'am. Napakaganda po yung mga po natin yun. Well, because siguro, sabi ko pa rin, we will be employing everyone. Kasi it is not just a shared responsibility. This is a shared responsibility, of course. Not only the job of our PNP personnel, but of course, kaya nga we employ the help of course, our force multipliers to include, tama ma'am, nabanggit po yung mga security agencies po natin. Actually, ma'am, as of now, ma'am, at this point in time, ongoing po yung security managers forum din namin sa Kamkaringal po, which they are discussing these things now. But even though na wala po yung ganito, we are in close contact po dito sa mga security partner agencies natin. Of course, yun nga, kasi actually, hindi naman 24 hours na nababantayan po ng kapulisan natin yung stress natin to secure the lives and properties. But of course, with the help itong mga kasama natin sa security agency, na sila yung mismong nandun nakikita ng mga nakaman o nakaposte po ng mga security guard nila yung lugar, mas pamilyar po sila doon. So, we are constantly coordinating po, ma'am, and we will collaborate with them for this particular part, especially so this Holy Week and the summer vacation po natin na to see to it nga na all is in order and the safety and security is paramount po dito sa atin. Yun po, ma'am, sa part po natin sa PNP.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Lea. Pero para sa mga homeowners lang yun, paano yung sa public na walang mga security guards, walang ano?
Well, in particular, yun na, yung may mga subdivisions, mga pandin. Ang atin naman is, of course, doon sa public areas natin, kaya yun nasabi na meron tayong foot patrollers for that. The beat patrollers, isasama natin dyan yung mga barangay officials po, yung mga tanods, na natin, to see to it nga na lahat naman is makukover. We are not just speaking of itong sa subdivisions po. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Nico Bagsik ng DZMM.
Magandang umaga po. Itanong ko lang po muna sa LTO, no? Kasi yung palasyo po, parang in-encourage nila yung mga kababayan po natin na iwasan nga yung paggamit ng mga private vehicles, and then parang pinromote nila yung carpooling. So, paano po kaya ito, since baka kasi magamit yung carpooling para maabuso, no, yung carpooling? Kasi according to Sir Lacanilao, parang hindi basta-basta pwedeng mag-carpooling, kailangan may registration pa rin po ito. So, paano kaya malalaman ng mga kababayan natin kung registered ba itong carpooling na to? Kasi we can just ask anyone na may sasakyan, tapos sabay-sabay na lang sila pupunta sa mga trabaho po nila. Parang ganun.
Well, yes, it's very hard to identify whether the vehicle is properly registered for carpooling. So, as per the inquiry ng ating mga kababayan, how to identify is for us the legal documents. No, that was released by the LTFRB. Thank you.
Salamat po. And kay Sir Dexter po, Sir, just to clarify lang, mas lumami pa, nangaunti po ba yung mga private vehicles na namomonitor nyo ever since tumaas po yung mga presyo ng produktong petrolyo?
Medyo nagbawala talaga yung number of vehicles flying on our roads, so medyo may kaluwagan ng konti yung ating traffic. And not only of the prices, but also yung for working day na na-observe din natin ng mga government agencies. So, definitely talagang bumakas kasi may mga work from home schemes na ginawa rin ng ating government. So, talaga nabawasan din po talaga. And we are encouraging our motoring public na meron na kami nga yung libreng sakay po natin na 8 routes ng Quezon City Government. You can utilize our libreng sakay na as alternative na going to and from kanilang mga schools sa work. So yun yung meron naman tayong mga bus or cater nila yung mga public transport. So yun yung dapat i-observe naman na ating mga kababayan. It's a collaborative effort ng lahat ng Pilipino to help our country na magtipid sa mga paggamit ng gasolina. And of course, ating consumption, energy consumption sa ating mga bahay, dapat lahat tayo tulong-tulong para mabawasan yung demand ng oil or fuel sa ating paggamit araw-araw. Para to lessen the impact of the surge ng oil price sa buong mundo.
Last na lang po, Sir, magdadagdag po ba kayo ng mga ruta dito sa libreng sakay since baka magkaroon ng malaking demand po?
Hindi po, no? Kasi meron yung proof ng LTFRB is meron tayong yung level of service niya ay talagang merong allotted time interval, merong number of trips lang na inaalok natin as stated sa contract between the city government and the service provider. So, may naka-alert lang na special trips if ever na needed ng additional trips, ay meron namang part of the contract is pwede kami magdagdag ng trips if ever na merong dagsa or demand ng ating mga commuters.
Follow up na lang din po, Sir. Last na po talaga. May anunsyo po, yung mga transport group na yung kilos protesta po nila before sa Thursday and Friday, handa po ba yung QC, LGU po with regards to this?
Opo, no? As a practice and experience, dito sa Quezon City, yung law and order cluster ng ating city government through the instruction ng mga Mayor Chamber Ponte, talagang in place po yan, yung template po namin, yung CPD, LTTMT, ang ating DPOS, and other ating DRR, ating mga barangays, ay at saka yung General Services Department are all on alert na lahat ng units na available na owned by the city are always available, ready for dispatch if ever na magkaroon talaga ng stranded passengers during this stretch, but for the past few stages ng transport strike dito sa Quezon City, wala siyang epekto because of the presence of our libreng sakay kasi may alternative nga ang ating mga kababayan na hindi pa nakasakay sa mga private na public transport, available yung ating libreng sakay. And if ever na stranded pa, meron pa tayong standby ng mga trucks from QCPD, bus ng QCPD, and other buses of the city government, e-trikes, and the vehicles of the 142 barangays in the Quezon City are ready for dispatch every time na mayroong ganitong plano or stages of strike. That's all part of our contingency plan, together also yung deployment of our police officers to ensure the safety ng ating mga motorista at saka yung ating mga protesters, that they are all in their proper locations na hindi naman nakaka-istorbo sa ating mga pagbiyahe at hindi sila can really stage or voice out their sentiments dahil nga dito sa Quezon City we observed yung free expression of freedom of speech. So yun pa yung bakit natin naman sila inaano. As long as they are peaceful and orderly, at yan ang ating QCPD to secure their the conduct of the rallies are always safe among the stakeholders in Quezon City.
Thank you, Nico. Ian, Manalo, Congress TV.
Kay Sir Jerome po. Sir, 1 week before the Latin break, may mga nahuli na po ba tayo mga sasakyan na color? And ano po yung pag-usas na rin isa ka rin mga
Again, good morning po. As per the inquiry of the other media, I have also already answered the penalty and fine or sanction. As for the Coloro, they will face a fine, an impounding, and of course a criminal case. In terms of the number of apprehended Coloro, as of now, as the pre-Oplan, wala pa po tayo nahuling Coloro as of now because wala pa pong surge ng mga passenger na uuwi sa kanilang probinsya. So maybe, or definitely, on the time of the Semana Santa itself, or the Oplan itself, definitely there will be Coloro.
Isa kasi naman. Sir, ano yung mga hakbang na ginagawa ng traffic and transport management para maiwasan yung goodness o yung matinding traffic, especially sa Cubao na maraming bus terminal?
Part of the coordination with MMDA and other government agencies enforcing yung traffic rules and regulations. Nag-ooperate tayo ng maraming or deploy ng maraming tao along EDSA, along Aurora Boulevard, and those place of convergence nga, yung mga terminals ng mga bus. So, talagang dinaragdagan natin yung tao, and may mga areas na talagang hindi pwede mag-load na yung mga sasakyan para to minimize yung effect of the traffic obstruction and congestion in that area.
Kiboy, ng Ramate.
Meron po deklarasyon yung handa po ba yung ating mga pagkakas? Iyakin yung safety ng at saka ano may mga lugar na inaasahan natin na pwedeng ma-affect natin yung tao.
Kapag sir, hindi ko nakakuha yung unang
Yung lulusan po ng transport flight, handa po ba ang ating mga pagkakas para sa iyakin yung safety ng mga pasero? At saka yung mga lugar po na ma-affectuhan, pero hindi mo ba tayo mga nakadeploy ng mga bus para masakyan ng mga ma-affectuhan?
Thank you, sir. Nakuha ko na po yung question. Well, no less than the Chief PNP had directed, instructed all PNP units to provide po doon sa in relation sa libreng sakay po. So we will be providing the necessary vehicles, of course, to augment itong binanggit ni Sir Dexter kanina. All natin. Yung libreng sakay po, ipoprovide po ng Quezon City Police District. And of course, that we are appealing also na yung walang natin sa publiko na medyo magpan lang po sila ng hindi yung nagpuunahan. And rest assured po. And of course, doon sa mga areas po kung saan may ilalagay yung mga sasakyan, lalagyan mo din po natin ng mga kapulisan po natin yan to see to it na orderly po yung paglabas at saka pagpasok nila doon. And of course, baka this would be another opportunity also for the lawless elements to take the nefarious activities. Kahit na ganito yung problema natin globally, there are still nagro-roaming po dyan na to take advantage na baka magkaroon ng problema dyan. So rest assured po, in all the sinabi natin na partner agencies natin, force multipliers, will be doing our part to keep everyone safe po and sound.
Paano po sir, pagkakarami nila yung mga kalyo, yung mga transport po, ayaw sumama sa transport?
Okay, with regards to rallies po, and yun na yung point natin. As stated, yung mga magpupan po ng rally nila is they are free to bear their grievances in a manner also that they should not also within the bounds po ng kwan natin kung saan sila po pwedeng kwan ng mga hinanakit nila or yung mga salubin nila. But they should also not to, kumbaga yung tinatawag natin na maka-impede din po sa smooth flow of traffic. Pag ganyan po yung mangyayari, when we don't know otherwise, but of course, ikwan po sila sa lugar na hindi po sila nakakasagabal po ng smooth flow of the ng traffic po natin. Especially so dito sa mga thoroughfares po natin. Yun po yung pan natin. So, we have also yung CDM company natin, CDM personnel natin for that purpose. But in a manner also na we don't want na magkaroon ng tension, they are free to wear their grievances po natin yung mga kwan natin. Kasi nga, there are issues na pwede nilang ibanggitin, but along the way, they should also within kung ano yung kung may permit man sila. If they have the necessary permit, they will be pagbigyan natin sila. But after that, of course, they have to disperse peacefully so as not to create po yung kwan natin. Yan lang po sa kwan ng PNP and rest assured public. We are also appealing sa mga magkakanda po ng ganyan na they should also follow kung ano po yung kwan natin natin. Kasi para hindi rin naman po maapektuhan po yung mas marami po.
Kaya ano po sir, meron po ba kayong programa para bigyan ng permit yung mga gusto bumiyahe ng mga bus?
Actually, sir, in terms of the permit, to provide other vehicles that have already their franchise on their approved route, to have the alternative route, that will be on the matter of LTFRB. And I believe they have already issued a deadline on the submission for this matter. Thank you.
So, for supplementals, sir, baka may ano tayo? May mga binabantayan ng mga crimes na nangyayari pag panahon ng Semana Santa, papasok ng summer vacation, ano-ano yung mga krimen na ito na inaasahan natin na mangyayari?
Thank you, sir. Of course, karamihan ngayon yung sabi natin ngayon na in times na may mga ganyan na may pagkakaroon ng convergence ng mga tao natin, especially dito sa areas natin, dito sa yung mga tourist places natin na pinupuntahan po dito. And of course, yung mga malls, even though yung mga terminals po natin, ito yung pan natin na rest assured po, yung meron tayong mga sufficient personnel to look for that matter, and yung sa kaso naman na yung rivality na nangyayari, pag ganitong situation, of course, yun nga, yung sa theft, mga snatching siguro, mga robberies for that matter na ako natin, but we will see to it for the past period naman po dito sa Quezon City, nag-decrease po naman na yung mga cases natin yan. And of course, yung sabi natin, we will strengthen yung presence ng ating kapulisan po dyan sa streets, na kung saan ba yan, para mabantayan po natin yan. And warning din sa mga gagawa ng mga nefarious activities, they will not do that. Of course, the purpose of the law will be implemented pag inahuli po natin ang mga yan.
Thank you, Colonel.
Follow-up lang po. Kanina po, Sir Dexter, nasabi po nyo na bumaba po yung bilang ng mga sasakyan because simula nung tumaas yung presyo ng petrolyo. Meron po ba kayong percent kung ilan pong yung nabawas sa normal na operasyon before?
Wala akong data or percentage ano. And again, yun nga, combination of factor, iba, yung ibang private owners, hindi na gumamit na sila because of the surge ng fuel prices. But of course, yung onset of the vacation ng ating mga estudyante, so isa pang factor yan. At saka yung 4-day work week ng ating mga government offices. So yun yung pinanggalingan na bakit nabawasan talaga yung vehicles flying on our roads.
Yung pong libreng sakay, ilan po yung target sa isang araw, yung nasiservisyohan po natin?
On a daily basis kasi umaabot kami ng 40,000. An annual kasi nasa 11 million plus. So yan po yung but again, makikita lang natin yung datos nito coming after 1 week siguro. We can generate yung difference ng the past few weeks prior to the surge ng fuel versus the number of commuters after the surge of fuel. So doon namin makikita talaga yung may significant increase ng commuters na magkikater na natin.
Dito po sa preparation ng Quezon City LGU po sa Welgang Bayan, sir, meron na po bang mga areas na na-approve ang Quezon City LGU kung saan magsasagawa ng pagkilos yung mga magsasagawa ng Welgang Bayan? At ano po yung mga grupo na inaprobahan, sir?
Ang mga grupo ng strikers or protesters hindi nag-a-apply ng permits po yan. They will stage their protest anywhere na gusto nila na makakakuha ng attention. Like dito sa Commonwealth Capital COA, dito sa FPJ Avenue News, dito sa Ponda, Aurora Boulevard sa may Cubao, E-Road sa may E-Road Araneta Avenue, and dito sa Project 4, dito sa may Anonas, Tindalo, sa Tapaliches area. So yun yung mga area of convergence na supposed to be ng ating mga strikers. But however, yung mga previous stages nga nila ng strikes, walang significant number na generate nila. Makikita mo lang a few persons lang ang natuto na 5 to 10 or maximum 20. Sumasabay kayo naman dami lang yung participation na because of the presence naman natin mga progressive groups na estudyante, mga laborers, and other progressive na nagpa-protest sila doon naman doon sa program ng subsidies or programa na bakit excise tax. So yun yung mga sumasabay siya. Kaya akala lang natin na marami yung PUGs or drivers na nagpa-protest. But ang mas marami kasi doon yung progressive groups na nag-i-stage din ng kanilang sumasabay na as if mga transport na groups din sila. So yun yung bakit parang ang dami. Pero in real fact, yung mga sumasali lang is talagang it's not enough significant numbers na magkakaroon ng stoppage or derail yung ating mga need na ating mga commuters per route basis. So again, na-mention ko lang kanina na those areas like Navaliches, Mindanao Avenue, dito sa areas ng Munyos, pero dito sa Commonwealth sa Cubao, and Anonas, nandun po yung biyahe ng libreng sakay. So kung mag-explain mo sila doon sa lugar, meron ng libreng sakay program kami na makikater na yung stranded doon. Kasi nga po, yung programa na yan, binasa din namin doon sa mga need ng ating mga kababayan. Every time na may mga ganitong issues. So, parang walang nangyayari na strike those areas. Kasi andun na yung regular program na ng city. Those aprons ay nakikater na itong ang mga transport. So, yung naka-standby lang dyan, just in case na hindi makater no reflex na kayo natin na regular na naka-ano doon. Tsaka lang namin i-dispatch yung naka-standby na QCPD na 2 bus, at then yung 4 na sasakyan ng Quezon City Government na GST, at then yung mga sasakyan ng 142 vehicles, more than 142 vehicles owned by the barangay, hindi na siya 142. 142 barangays times 2 or times 3, depende yung need. So, ganun karami yung pwedeng mag-cater sa isang instance per location. If na meron tayong ma-observe or ma-monitor na ganitong search ng mga stranded. So, kung imo-monitor natin, titignan din yun. Parang nag-strike ba? Parang ganun yung sa QC experience po natin, ganun po yung and aside from that, meron tayong 10 or 12, depende sa need, meron tayong 12 e-trikes na yung short distances from City Hall to Bilgoa to yung vicinity lang na less than 4 kilometers visit ng City Hall, ay merong mag-cater na 12 na e-trikes. So, ganun po yung yung contingency planning ng City Hall na every time na may ganitong in place na po siya. Yun po yung practice po dito sa Quezon City. And of course, again, for the leadership of our Mayor General Monte, kaya namin ginagawa ito lahat kasi instructions, may contingency plan lahat ng aming ginagawa. Thank you.
Follow-up kay Colonel, sir. Kanina po sinabi niya na may deployment kayo ng 2,000 ng mga tauhan CPD during Semana Santa. Ito po ba ay hindi naaalis sa area kasi yung summer vacation program naman nyo ay susunod? Sila na rin ba yung nandyan sa labas or may dagdag pa po?
Yes, of course, ma'am. Yung mga sinabi ko kanina na more or less 1,700 to 2,000 na personnel po natin will be deployed. That comprises po yung from sa headquarters natin, then yung we have our 1 to 16 police stations po natin scattered throughout Quezon City. Yung station 1 to 16 po, nandyan po yung mga tauhan po natin, sila po yung magmaman sa particular areas po nila. And of course, we will be augmented. Of course, yung augmentation natin, gaya sabi ko kanina, yung other organization agencies na kasama po natin dyan. And of course, we also have our highway patrol group for that matter na kasama po rin natin dyan. So, hindi po, it will not hamper the regular police function po ng kapulisan po natin.
Clarify ko lang po si LTO, sir. Kailan po yung start and last ng deployment ng LTO sa mga key areas nyo during Semana Santa, sir?
Well, as I have mentioned earlier, yung pre-op plan po natin is from March 23 to 26. And the op plan itself starts from March 27 to April 6. So even though after the Holy Week, still andun pa rin kami sa mga key areas such as yung mga major thoroughfare, also terminals. Kasi usually yung iba, ang isip nila, huwag tayong bumiyahe muna ng linggo, marami niyan. So they will travel on Monday to Tuesday. So definitely andun pa rin po kami.
Alright, maraming salamat sa lahat po ng mga resource persons natin at mga kasamahan sa industriya. And of course, before we end our forum, parting messages muna sa lahat po ng mga resource persons natin, lalong-lalo sa mga nakaabang ngayon dahil naka-live stream din tayo sa ating QCJ page. Unahin na natin ang LTO down to Sir Dex, papunta na po kay Colonel Julius.
Again, good morning po sa inyo lahat. As a parting may message po, para po sa mga babiyahe na nagtatakang mga babiyahe as a Coloro, please don't, kasi nga po, you will face a criminal offense at the same time a fine and an impounding as well as for the owner itself. Another thing is, I forgot to mention earlier na meron po tayo mga, aside po sa deployment sa mga terminals, as before, meron din tayong deployment sa mga kalsada natin that serves as a preventive measure. Kasi alam naman natin, marami po ang pagbiyahin yan na definitely may violation. So, as a preventive measure, yun lamang po makita ang mga checkpoints namin, definitely will prevent them to travel with a violation. Na parang chismis lang yan, kakalat yan sigurado. And then yung iba, hindi na babiyahe pa. Another thing is, meron din po kami mga mobile command control center located po sa SLEX and LLEX that will monitor the traffic on real time. Na nag-link po yan sa ating mga enforcers just in case na meron din po makita o ma-encounter ng mga road crashes. Andiyan dyan po si LTO, of course, to serve and to mediate on the situation. Another thing is, dun po sa mga terminal inspection natin, don't be afraid to ask the land transportation officers that was assigned or designated at that area in case of distress or in case of maproblema tayo dun sa pagsakay natin. Another thing is, make sure yung mga sasakyan natin po is yung mga approved lang po kay LTFRB. Iwasan po natin yung magkaroon ng pangungontrata, no? Para po sa ating kaligtasan. Another thing is, meron din po kami mga assigned personnel na nagbibigay po ng mga IEC materials. We do not just value the enforcement, but also we do persuasive approach wherein we did disseminate IEC or information education campaign materials to inform not just the driver but also the passengers and encourage the passenger if nakita nila si driver, hindi masyado nagpipay attention sa kalsada, they're using their cell phones, we encourage them to capture these moments and report it to the LTO so that that driver will face a sanction on the manner of his or her driving. Thank you so much.
Sir Dex.
Thank you, no? Part of the Quezon City government, yung the DMD is dispatching or augmenting ating mga personal sa mga, particularly sa ating mga transport terminals at saka yung mga usami converges. During the Holy Week, walang pasok pero we'll be deploying naman sa mga churches kasi ano naman yung converges sa mga simbahan, sa mga bisita iglesia, doon naman concentrate. And other areas na magkakaroon ng traffic congestion sa doon, meron deployment siya. So, dalawang scenario sa bus terminals, OBR, pagdating ng walang pasok simbahan ng destination after which, Saturday, Sunday, nagpupunta sa malls. Yun yung bakit iba-iba yung deployment. And again, sa ating mga kababayan, sa mga may-ari ng mga buses and terminals, pakiusap lang po namin sa city government, observe yung Safe Spaces Act ng city na dapat maayos ang pagpila ng ating mga kababayan sa pagsakay. Yung queuing po nila, observe po natin yung need ng ating mga kababayan, senior citizens, PWDs, mga pregnant women and women na may mga dalang mga bata. So, dapat meron tayong mga specialized na queuing or special queuing or tingnan naman natin na bigyan natin ng importansya yung mga special needs ng ating mga kababayan, senior citizens, PWDs, and women na may dalang mga bata and pregnant women. And observe also yung overcrowding sa bus. Although, alam naman natin sa ating mga bus companies, pag maraming pasahero ganito, pinamaximize naman nila yung mga kasiksikan doon sa bus. Sana po, meron naman mga LTFRB, LTO when it comes to overcrowding. So, isa po doon sa mga, aside from the road safety, there's also yung safety ng ating mga kababayan or LGBTQA plus lahat ng sektor na dapat bigyan naman natin ng magandang importansya kasi dito sa Quezon City po kasi dapat kasama lahat na inclusivity yung programa natin na programa. So dapat yung programa natin sa viewing, pagsakay, inclusive po lahat. Yun po yung ating pakiusap sa ating mga bus operators and bus terminals. Thank you.
Colonel Julius.
Again, to everyone, of course, your QCPD is concerned here is, of course, for the safety and security for the convenience of everyone. Rest assured, this holiday season, of course, yung Holy Week and the summer vacation, rest assured of all the shared commitment from the PNP, from the community support. Rest assured, and we make sure that our presence in the streets, on the places of convergence will be felt, so as to provide, of course, the necessary assistance if the need arises. We just encourage everyone to help us. Of course, let us be vigilant every time na meron tayong if anything suspicious activities na nangyayari po dyan, we have our hotline, of course, yung E911 natin. And of course, yung local po natin dito sa Quezon City, yung 122 po natin for police assistance po. Readily for us to provide the necessary assistance na kailangan po ng ating mga sa public, of course. Not only the Q citizens po natin, but for everyone's safety, yun po yung concern natin. Rest assured po yung QCPD will be there to help everyone for that.
Alright, maraming salamat at muli ang QCGI forum na ito ay would not be more possible without the support of the BAGCOR, the Philippine Amusement Game Corporation, and the PCSO, the Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office.
Tumulong sa pagtulong, kagawa sa lahat sinusulong. PCSO, PCSO. Sa pagtulong ng PCSO,
Alright, maraming salamat everyone. Have a good day.